that's probably enough of that, I suspect. Good evening, Chris. How you doing? There seems to be a huge 3 people here today, which is fine because it's like a Saturday evening and people probably have lives because it's a bank holiday weekend. Haven't really done anything on here since last time except park the Unimog over in the silo shed and move the little riggy track. I want to say it's a riggy track. I would need to put the fertilizer and seed away, so we're going to buy ourselves a little vehicle for doing that, and I want to roll the barley that we've planted and then possibly progress into, I've actually put rolling into September, but we're already in September, so it's kind of a little bit of a typo there. Oh well. Quick check of the animals. So grazing is keeping those pretty much at their 25%. They have a tiny bit of wool, which I'm not too worried about. Not going to pick up the grain grist because it's on the floor. We have silage now. That's cool. Looks like our silage has fermented. Nope, not yet. Okay. Still fermenting. Oh, it's whole crop, not whole crop silage. And we have a very small amount of fabric. Cool. Right, so we are going to purchase ourselves, inspired by Thursday evening, the little Schaefer front loader, because this thing was a ton of fun when I was using it on Paul's farm. And I think we'll get it with wide tires just for randomness. So there we go. If there is anyone out there, a sound check on the game volume would be useful because I have been messing around with things a little bit. And we're going to get a pallet fork as well. I have tweaked some of the volume settings a little bit, so I'm not sure if it's too loud or too quiet. Yeah, I really enjoyed driving this thing on the stream on Thursday, so I thought it would be. I'm hoping it can actually pick these big bags up. Should be able to. Let's go in cab. Cool. I think it might just be you, Chris, actually. Sure. You might be getting your own personal showing tonight. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Yeah, it would kind of be better if I let people know I was doing this kind of stuff. Actually, let's just check that it has posted to Discord. It should automatically do it, but yes, it has. Cool. Never trust those auto notifications completely. Also been messing around with a few new bits that will possibly trigger at some point. We will have to wait and see. It's on what day was it? Thursday. I managed. Well, actually, it was on Thursday. The stream I did on Thursday was enough to allow me to apply for Twitch affiliate, which means I can now monetize things on here, which is kind of cool. That kicked in on Friday. Okay, picking that up was kind of interesting. Glad I didn't go for 2 of them. So there is now the option to subscribe to the channel. So if you have Amazon Prime, you get one of those for free. So you can choose a Twitch channel to subscribe to for free, essentially. Which Kartek did for me as a test. Thank you, buddy. And I can also enable ads, which I have chosen not to at the moment because I don't know how to. I don't know what's a good set of settings. I don't want to be spamming people with ads, so I need to have a chat with some people that know what's set. That does mean that I will probably now enable replays on here because those can have ads. Which, if you're watching a replay, I think ads is okay, but if you're watching live, I think ads is maybe a bit annoying. I know, like when you join watching someone stream, if they have ads on, it can be a bit annoying because you have to wait for that, have a long bit of ad to go away before you can actually watch. So. I had not used one of these little front loaders until the other day, and they're fun. I think it's kind of size appropriate for on here. And we've got cash to afford to buy one. And that can stay there for now. Let's jump back in this guy. And now we've got the space of the shed. I'm going to start buying kit. Because we can afford it as well. And I was going to get ourselves these guys. And I was going to get ourselves a set of Cambridge rollers. So, wow, it's £2,000 to go for the Cambridge option. Yeah, they look cool. They don't have a different function, but yeah. They should work behind this little guy. So. Yeah, I was actually debating getting rid of the Unimog. I've only had it for a little while, but I only really got, apart from the fact that we kind of needed it to do the seeding, but maybe not, because I bought it to do the grain milling, I guess. But I don't know if it fits with the other random assorted kit that I have on here. Going too quickly. So yeah, I don't know. I need to adjust the width. There we go. Yeah, it was something I was pondering earlier. But we do need something with enough horsepower to run a decent sized seeder. So maybe I keep it, or I did think maybe I'd buy an old tractor. Yeah, it's just stuff that I was kind of musing over. So as I was thinking today, this we will be making use of, I think, almost definitely. Once we can get into some root crop harvesting. And if we need a big tractor, we can always borrow our neighbour's tractor, which is what I used to do the... what did I use that for? The compacting, that was it. Compacting the silage. Yeah. It feels... It's probably not. Actually, maybe it is. Maybe it's nearly a week since I've been here. I'm not sure. This week's been quite a lot. It feels like it's been quite a long week. But it also feels like it's been quite a long time since I was on here last. Yeah, it was quite a long week at work this week. And double terror life was quite taxing. I find doing 2.25 hours yesterday, that was quite tiring. But fun. Yeah. It's jumped up to 8 people watching now. Maybe you could say hello. Hello, 8 people. I have pondered multi-streaming this so it goes to YouTube as well, where there are the cab rolls. I had not noticed that. Hello, Mr. Haythornthwaite. How is your Saturday evening going? I had not noticed that the cab rolls. That kind of makes sense because it's a hill tractor. That's kind of excited me. I like that. I do like that. I guess that must be FSG, Aussie No Man's Land. Actually, I have a question then for you. Because you always have your Discord status set to playing FSG mod assistant. Is that because you are playing Farm Sim Guy's assistant, or because you're always using the Farm Sim Gaming mod assistant? I kind of have this vision of you being FSG's personal assistant for managing all his mods. But that's because my head is kind of strange sometimes. Hello, Scania boy. A name I can say. I like it when people have names I can say. You don't actually have to answer that question, Mark. It just makes me chuckle slightly in my head every time I see it. It just auto picks it up. I just imagine that you're just actively managing FSG's mods for him all the time because, you know, you don't have anything else to do. Just an insight into the strange places that my head goes, I guess. Turning this thing is interesting. Between four-wheel steer and something that's got a very tight turning radius, it's kind of interesting. But I know you manage, you know, a few multiplayer servers for him, so it kind of made sense in my head. You help with all that kind of stuff. So. I'm sure there's some sort of logic in my head that makes that make sense. So, yeah. I'm going to speed the time up a bit because unless there's some useful contracts that have magically appeared, if you don't really need to be doing ploughing contracts, then I think probably we just need to be skipping ahead to the next month. So. What I actually probably meant is rolling into November. I hope you don't actually driving, because you definitely shouldn't be typing in actually driving. That would be bad. I'm hopefully my voice doesn't send you to sleep. That's a lot of mod folders. I don't know how many, I saying that on my laptop, which is what I'm on here, I may have close to that. Not all of them are active, and I don't use the FSG mod assistant. I use having folders and telling the game different folders to look at manually in the game settings.xml, because that's how I work. But I have quite a lot of mod folders which are used for 1 or 2 tests, and then they stay there until I get around to deleting them. Like at the moment, I still have 2 folders set up from when I was doing the comparison, which I still need to finish some of that, of the when I did the preview video for the new animal food editions. I had one version with the current animal food editions, and then one version of basically the same folder with the updated one in it. So, and they're both still there. Yeah, I know what it does, Mark. I just I like working the way I work, and change is bad, and yeah. Tend to prefer, and I used to be even worse because I used to rename the folder each time. I used to just, every time I would rename the folder I was using to the mods, and now I point the game at a different folder. So I've improved. I think I did have the FSG mod assistant installed at one point. I looked at it, and I prefer doing it manually. So, I just don't want the extra layer between me and the game, I guess. Particularly, because I tend to do stuff between 2 computers as well. Sometimes I'm worried that things will get confused. I have had instances where I've screwed things up, so I'd rather not trust a computer program that's not designed to work between 2 different computers managing mod folders and saves to do that. Anything cropped up in the sales? Nice. That could be kind of useful. That's annoying. Well, 100 horsepower is a lot. Well, if I need, actually, no, that's the grassland one, isn't it? I'm still curious about the spaders. Although I find that's 200 real, it needs a big tractor to run it. Yeah. Yeah, I just like doing things manually, I think, stuff like that. And then when it goes wrong, I can blame me as well. Which it has a few times, doing things like that. Like copying a save between computers, or not copying a save between computers, and recording the entire videos on the previous version of the save. And not realizing because you don't see where you were before. Maybe. Maybe. I get slightly frustrated when I do things wrong. Very frustrated, actually. And what I've got better at, actually, was in when I first started doing this, there might have been occasions where if things went badly, I would have thrown the footage away and started again. There was a time, in fact, when I used to keep a pre-starting copy of a save, so that I could always go back and not show all of the bad things. And I think that's something that I've got better at. If things go badly, I might get annoyed with myself, but I generally will still show it. Always on lines. Go in cab for a bit. It's a very telehandler-like cab. Very telehandler-like cab. I won't give away any spoilers, because like me, maybe you haven't watched it straight away, but we watched the part 1 of the new season of Clarkson's Farm today. It was very good, it was very funny, it was also very emotional. Definitely recommend watching it if you enjoyed the first 2 seasons. Yeah, I'm not going to give away any spoilers, because that would massively annoy me if I hadn't seen it. But it is good. We didn't watch it last night because Mrs. D went to bed at it was about 4-ish. So yeah, we sat and watched it all this afternoon. It was good. I think next weekend they release the second half of the series. Yeah. Hopefully we'll get to watch that next weekend at some point. I'm very glad it's a long weekend in the UK this weekend as well. It's meant that I could have quite a chilled out day today and not worry. Not worry's the wrong word. Not the other. I was going to say feel guilty, and that's also wrong. I have things I want to get done over the weekend, and it doesn't matter that I haven't done them today, basically, because I've still got 2 days left to get them. Let's grab. Probably spin my mouse around far too quickly, considering there are people actually watching. But that is something I do need to consider. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, the stuff that I need to do is out in the garden. I used to... My drink's gone cold. I used to really enjoy watching some people. We used to have a beach hut, and some of the people a couple of beach huts down used to do a lot of windsurfing. It used to be very cool to watch them. It was never something that I was particularly good at. I never really did very much of it. I did a couple of times on like school activity holidays and stuff. But I always did dinghy sailing and beach cat sailing and that kind of thing, or big boat sailing with my dad, and did a few seasons of racing. Oh, what was it? Sigma 33 with a couple of teachers that I knew. He did not. There was a couple. There's always two reasons, and there's always a couple of reasons. One was the price the guy wanted was more than my dad wanted to pay, and second, I think my dad decided that his with how old he is now and with how his body is, he didn't want. Well, my mum didn't want him taking on the work, and he kind of decided he didn't want to take on the job in the end, I think. So, I think probably it was the right choice in the end. He's actually decided at the moment he doesn't want to get another boat at all. He's waiting to have probably more neck or spinal surgery. So they're going on holiday to Alaska soon, and I think when he gets back from that, he's got to go and see the consultant. So I think it was probably the right choice. It was a really nice idea, and it was kind of cool to, like spend the time with him and going and looking at it and stuff. But ultimately, I think it was the right choice. The logistics of getting it back across the country with the condition it was in would have been quite complicated and probably quite expensive. He started to have a look at that after we'd been to look at it, and with the size of it, it was getting quite expensive, and getting it out of where it was by road was going to be quite difficult. But it wasn't in a condition where it could be transported by water easily, and it would have been quite a long journey by water as well. Yeah. And I think, for me, it was a bit of a nice dream, He built that as I was going through my teenage years. But equally, I'd left home before he finished it, pretty much, because he finished it while I was at uni. I only sailed it a few times, and he'd already, he made the decision to sell it and move on from it 20 years ago. So yeah. It was nice seeing it again. It was very nice seeing it again, and it brought back a lot of cool memories. And it was quite kind of nice to reminisce with my dad about all of the times that we spent hours together with him building it and me helping him. So that was kind of cool to reminisce over that and that kind of stuff. So yeah. Hello MP. I really like this map. I really like most of Chaos maps. I've played 2 of them, this being the second one, and I really like them. I like that generally they're smaller and the fields are quite small. I think they look nice. They have a lot of the built-in farms are quite nice. Although the other one I played is Furling, which only had one farm, but it was quite a nice farm. This one has a few more, and from what I've seen, they look quite nice. Yeah, and thank you. Hopefully he's I don't know if you know the background. He had a very serious motorcycle accident when he was about 19. He's now in his 70s, and basically worked a pretty hard physical job for most of his life, and kind of the accumulated damage of living with a skeleton that had some damage. Just, yeah, everything got messed up. So one really badly damaged knee led to a really, hip problems, to back problems, to the other knee being bad, to 2 bad hips, to a bad back, to a bad neck. And yeah, he worked a pretty physical job. And all takes its toll. So he has metal knee. I think it's 1 metal hip. He's had 1 or 2 vertebrae removed and replaced with a metal cage in his in his neck, basically. Yeah. It's all scary stuff, and while it is a bit of a nightmare, it's all quite scary, but I think it's also quite amazing what they can do. So yeah, no, it's a shame that the dad's in the same sort of position. I mean, luckily enough, mine can still get around, so they've not had to adapt their house too much. He just can't really do the things that he enjoys a lot, which is a little bit sad. I'm assuming, Mark, that yours is either a very, very active lifestyle or genetic, that you had to have stuff done to a disc that long ago, because you don't seem old enough to have old age issues 20 years ago. Yeah. One of my school friends has got something similar. I think he's got crumbling discs, and school friend, so he's the same age as me, so he's in his 40s, and has got problems with, I think he's had to have already a cage in his, I think he's had to have a couple of vertebrae caged because of them crumbling. But it's really cool that they can do that kind of stuff, because otherwise, 40 years old and he'd be screwed. And the same with the joint replacements. The knee replacement that my dad had has not been brilliant. But the material they were working with around the knee replacement was not great. There was a lot of skin and muscle and tendon damage as well. So yeah, the joints become quite loose in the... It's about 12 years or so since he had it done. Maybe a bit more. Maybe a bit more, actually. Randomly, that was the first day that Mrs. D met my parents, was just after my dad came out of having knee replacement surgery. This is fertilized. I'm not going to plow that in yet. Switch that off. Sheep have food. Oh, it does work. If we look at the field info, you can see above the food, it says how much is left in the grazing buffer. That's one of Achimobile's mods, which I've forgotten the name of, annoyingly. But that's quite a cool addition, I thought. I think some of the other stuff comes from that as well. And I've forgotten the name of the mod, but that's quite cool. So I think we can probably just sleep until the morning, and then we will check on the sheep again. And we now have our signage. And the grazing buffer is now much fuller because I guess they've grazed a bunch more food. And actually, this pasture seems to be supporting the amount of sheep we have just fine. So that's cool. Let's just check the productions and wins. We've got 600 litres of wool, so we could move that into the spinnery. Probably makes sense. Oh, come on. Probably just skip ahead again. So I'll just try and keep the spinnery running because it's not the fastest production, but it's going fast enough at the moment that we don't need to put an extra 10 shifts in. There we go. That's running again. Wonder at what point that's going to spawn stuff. Not too worried anyway. Have a quick check of the sales and have a quick check. Oh, we definitely need to buy that. Do we need a 10,000? Not really. Don't really need a cultivator or a Mercedes Sprinter, but we will get the root crop harvester while it's in sales. But it's got 30 hours on it. If only there was some way that I could reduce the likely repair bills that we were going to get with this. I'm going to just park it up for now. But mainly because I don't have said mod installed. But picking that up for 10 grand is going to come in very handy. Anything else that we need to do? There's nothing else in sales, particularly contracts. Don't really think we need to do any fertilizing contracts. So I think food for the sheep was okay. So we'll skip ahead again. It's kind of nice having a small enough farm that I can just skip time really easily and make progress. We got more wool. We have another 600, and wow, it's almost like they produce the same amount of wool every day. Eat the same amount of food every day. How much? Oh, we've almost got our first 1,000 litres in the... Can we? I'm going to try out the little shaker this time. If that'll fit in the wool area. Should do. Should do. Around a little bit. Nope. That's good enough. That's good enough. I think the pallet jack worked better. That means we're making about 300 litres of fabric a day at the moment, which is probably not bad because fabric pays really well. I'm wondering if production is like 20%, so we're going to get a load more sheep. Maybe we won't buy any more sheep, we'll just let them breed and then sell the excess. I think I'm just going to skip ahead again. We'll be in a new month. And then I think I might just work out what I'm going to do, and then I just go relax for the rest of the day. There's a great demand at the animal dealer. Let's check time saving stock check. Nothing there. One of the things I really dislike about how they reorganized the selling is being able to find where what great demands are for. I guess because it's not appearing in time saving stock check, it's not for anything that we have, but It would be nice to know. Oh, food-wise, we are fine still. Guessing we have the same amount of wool pretty much. Do we have any fabric yet? We do have 1,000 litres of fabric. Fabric, which is worth 4 grand, but at its best is worth 6 grand, 7 grand. So we'll hold on to that. Hold on to that. But we will go get the other pallet of wool. Get that moved. The sheep are open. Actually, let's corn. No, we are looking for. I can't remember. Game sound will have vanished for a second. I can't remember if beetroot are part of the sheep's feeding or not. I need to install the animal food overview mod, because then I wouldn't have to keep going out of the game and looking in the XML. Carrots or potato. And I guess I could add them. Field 25. 25 is a nice long field. Thought I was going to really after sugar beets. Sugar beets. Although there are no sugar beets on the map, so I guess maybe it would be sensible to grab the there are 29 on that list. No. I'm sure there were sugar beets before. There we go. What I might have to do is go Google to see if sheep will eat beetroots. Is that going to give them bread wool? Is that how you get red jumpers? Guess otherwise it's probably cutting our grass, because I'm guessing it won't grow again in November. I'd have to check the growth for that. Or we grab. Do I feel like doing a quick harvesting contract? Do we need corn? I don't think we need corn. So I actually think I'm going to wrap things up there. And between videos, or between streams, I'm going to go and have a look and see if sheeps will eat beetroot. And I'm going to see if the grass is going to grow again. Then I will decide what I'm going to do next. So thanks for watching, folks. Thank you to those that were chatting. And I will... hey, Marnux, didn't realise you were here. I will be back again at some point. And yeah, see you all next time. There's a new screen as well.